The Battle of Churubusco took place on August 20, 1847, while Santa Anna's army was in retreat from the Battle of Contreras, Mexican-American War. After defeating the Mexican army at Churubusco, the U.S. Army was only 5 miles away from Mexico City. Background: following their defeats at Contreras, Santa Anna ordered Major General Nicolas Bravo to retreat from San Antonio to Churubusco. Santa Anna also ordered Major General Manuel Rincon to hold the Franciscan convent of San Mateo in Churubusco, with earthworks and 7 guns, and placed General Francisco Perez on the Tete Pont on the south bank of the river. 2 regiments were placed along the river, while the convent included the Bravo battalions of the Mexico City National Guard and the San Patricio Battalion. Plus Santa Anna formed a reserve along the highway to the north. Battle: Scott sent David Twiggs and Gideon Johnson Pillow's divisions from San Angel to Coyoacan, while he ordered William J. Worth to turn the San Antonio position. Worth sent Carl Newman S. Clark's brigade and Lt. Col. Charles F. Smith's light battalion across the Pedregal lava field to the west of San Antonio, while Col. John Garland faced San Antonio on the south. During retreat from San Antonio, the Mexican defenders with Col. F. Villarreal and about 2,000 men, 700 of the Hidalgo, 500 of the Victoria, National Guards battalions, and 800 others, under Cols. A. Zeracero and J. G. Perdigon-Garay, were struck in flank by Clark's brigade. Garland moved forward as the Mexicans withdrew from San Antonio and a general and 4 guns. Scott ordered an attack on the convent. In addition to the stone walls of the convent, the defenses included a series of incomplete trenches the Mexicans had begun digging prior to the attack. Some elements of the TLAPA and Lagos battalions arrived as reinforcements. 3 cannon were placed on the right, 2 in the center, and the remaining 2 on the left. Independencia was assigned to defend the upper walls, the right flank leading to the bridge, the unfortified south and north sides, and 2 adobe huts further forward on the battlefield. The Bravos and the San Patricios were stationed on the left, behind barricades. In support along the Rio Churubusco was the Perez Brigade. 2,500 men Worth's division took on the Tete Pont, while Twiggs of the convent. Rincon's gunners were able to force Taylor's battery to withdraw, and Perez's defense on the Tete Pont twice repulsed Major Benjamin Bonneville's 6th Infantry charge. The attack by Franklin Pierce and James Shields, crossing the river on the Coyoacan-Mixcoac Road in an attempt to cut off the Mexican retreat, was also stopped. However, Worth turned the Mexican left and crossed the river, while the 8th and 5th Infantry took the Tete Pont. Captain Duncan then set up a battery to attack the convent. 2 of the Mexican cannons had melted and a third had fallen from its mount. Lieutenant Colonel Francisco Peña of Independencia led a handful of men in a bayonet charge and was defeated. He and Captain Luis Martinez de Castro, who had accompanied him, were killed in the battle. Officers from the Bravos attempted to raise the white flag over the convent walls on 3 occasions. They were prevented from doing so, however, by members of the San Patricios who feared the fate that awaited them if they were taken prisoner. Though 72 men were ultimately captured and court-martialed for desertion, including the leader, John O'Reilly. U.S. Captain James Milton Smith finally stopped the fighting by putting up a white handkerchief. Aftermath: the Americans captured 192 prisoners and 3 pieces of artillery at the Tete Pont. They captured 1,259 prisoners, including 3 generals and the San Patricios leader Lt. Col. Francisco Rosende Marino, plus 7 pieces of artillery at the convent. They captured another 380 prisoners further up the road. Scott did not continue the pursuit into Mexico City. Willing to leave something to this republic, I halted our victorious corps at the gates of the city. A brigade of volunteers from New York was billeted to the convent, remaining there until September 7. Gallery. Battle of Churubusco. During the Mexican-American War. Painting by Carl Nebel. Battle of Churubusco. Map of the Battle of Churubusco. In the arts. Parts of the battle were portrayed in the mini-series North and South, as well as the film One Man's Hero. Additional reading. Ramsey, Albert C. The Other Side, or Notes for the History of the War Between Mexico and the United States, New York. John Wiley, 161 Broadway and 13 Paternoster Row, London, 1850. Balbonton, Manuel, Recuerdos de la Invasión Norteamericana, 1846–1848. Annual Reports 1894. War Department lists trophy guns as 1 to 16 pounder bronze, 4 to 8 pounders, 4 to 6 pounders and 3 to 4 pounders.